how you evolved into music as a career choice.
I helped my granddaddy on the farm, and on the weekends or whenever he's done with work or whatever, I would always go. There's little honky tonks in Kentucky. There was two that come to mind, three or four. There was one called Miller, so being Alex Miller, I definitely want to go there.
There you go.
There was another one called the White Barn. It was in Waynesburg, Kentucky, and it was literally a shotgun barn that had a dance floor in it, and so we'd go to that.
Love it.
Called the Silver Eagle. I think it's still open in Rockcastle County. But we used to go to surrounding counties where they had music, and on Sundays I would go sing in churches. So
what is it about him or that song that you admire so much, or that you love so much?
God, it's just so emotional. And it's popped up several times throughout my career. In fact, I did it at the Hall of Fame. But somebody asked me what was my favorite song. And I just did a songwriter session at the Country Music Hall of Fame. And they asked me what was my favorite song. And I said, I'm so lonesome I could cry. And I said, here, let me sing a little bit for you. And I did it kind of a cappella first, just singing with my guitar and me.
Hey everybody, happy Monday. We're back to the Real Country Podcast, where we talk to country Western Americana artists with a little bit more of a traditional sound. And today we have, drum roll please, probably one of the most country as they come, because he says so in one of his most recent songs, More Country Than You. It's Alex Miller. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, Nikki, how are you?
I'm phenomenal. How are you? And where are you? Are you in Tennessee?
Well, for the time being, yes.
Okay.
I got to make a run up to Kentucky here today, actually. But no, I'm here in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I live in Gallatin, but I'm here at the little studio.
Nice. And when did you become a permanent resident? I guess, are you living here full time, or you kind of go back and forth between here and Kentucky?
Yeah, I'm a Nashvilleian. I mean, Villian, whatever.
He's a Nashvillean.
But yeah, I live in Gallatin, Tennessee, which is just up north of Hendersonville, and about 30 minutes from the Kentucky border. So that's quite all right by me.
Tell me what you're working on right now. We'll just dive right in. What you got a lot going on? What's something that you're currently working on?
Oh yes, well I've got a brand new record that's coming out that I'm really excited about. Of course, a lot of tour dates coming up, a lot of places I'm playing, and the general songwriting grind and all that good stuff. Just been at it, working hard and heavy.
Yeah, I love that. What's one of your favorite things about writing songs? Do you do a lot of like co-writes with people, or do you write a lot by yourself, or a good combo of both?
I do a good combo of both. I usually come in with like an idea,
Yeah.
half started whenever I or have an idea of what I want to write every day. I come in to write with someone, but what I enjoy is I write with all kinds of different folks. I write from people that are 18, 19 to 80-year-olds. I mean, I write with anybody that I want to write with. So and I
Nice.
set all of it up myself. So that's what I enjoy doing.
Good for you. You're on the grind. You're running that business of yourself. That's
That's
great.
right.
Well, let's talk about your upcoming album. So this is More Country Than You, right? Out April 10th. So it's right around the corner.
Yeah, not long at all. It's
Yeah.
and I'm excited too. It's going to be a great record.
Well, before we even get into that, I want to say, because I also noticed this last year, but your energy, I just appreciate it so much. Like, you're so joyful and just happy, and it's contagious. So I appreciate just you being just so happy all the time, because it makes me feel, it makes me feel great too.
Well, thanks. Every day I'm not on a tractor and behind the plow or pushing and pulling the plow, I feel blessed. So
Yeah.
I've got a lot to be happy about, and not that there's anything wrong with being on a tractor pulling the plow. It's just I just feel grateful that I get to play music as my passion, as my life.
I love that. Well, you built quite a fan base, and I love that for you. Talk to me about how there are some differences between, or how you've evolved as an artist between maybe your debut album and the one that's getting ready to come out. Like, what does this one say about Alex Miller that maybe earlier music of yours hadn't yet said?
My earlier music, I feel like I was still trying to find who I am, and I think with this record, it's the best way you can get to know me. It has
Yeah.
everything on it that I really enjoy. The first record was almost more of a Western swing record, the way a
Yeah.
lot of the songs were arranged. But at the same time, I had songs like "Through with You" and "Boys in Uniform" that showed my other side of what I could do. And I think this record really just shows who I am as best as anything I've ever done. It has everything from fun duets, and that's something I'm going to continue on, or going to try to continue on with my next project. But it has everything I like, and that's all I know to say. It has, heck, it's even got an Alan Jackson song he wrote that never was released on there. So,
Really
yes, that's Secondhand Smoke.
love that. I can't wait for that one. Yeah, and a couple of collabs too. So you have Tracy Bird, right? And
Yeah.
then Emily and Robert,
Yeah.
them
Can't
two.
go wrong with either one of them.
No, not at all. So is that maybe like a new creative thing that you hadn't really done a lot of collaborations or duets before? It's kind of like a new creative exploration you're looking at this record?
It was, yes.
Yeah,
I done on my first record, I did do one other, I've only done one other duet, and it was a gospel song with the Oak Ridge Boys, which looking back
right.
now, really special because it had Joe Bonzel on there and the whole original group of the Oaks, which is just super neat now.
Yeah.
No, this was the first time that my brain was duet oriented, shall I say. And I'd been writing stuff like that, but never when I was growing up, I was the only person in my family that played music or sang or anything. So I never
Really?
had anybody to sing duets with. So this was a whole new process for me.
You were the only one. Do you have any siblings?
I have a little brother.
Little
He's
brother.
about to graduate high school. He's 18, and
Okay.
but he's like me. He's an old man at heart.
He's an old soul.
He's
Yeah.
an old soul. Yes, he is.
I love that. Well, I feel like because you're so rooted in a little bit more traditional country and kind of keeping that tradition alive, do you think fans are really craving, wanting a record like this? I certainly do, but I'm curious, like, you think people really feel like they want some authentic country music?
I think so, and that's what I plan. I'm glad you said authentic.
Yeah,
It's not that I'm against anything that's going on right now. This is just who I am. I can't help.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Uh,
can't help it. It's just me.
I've tried, and
Yeah.
people have tried to tell me, say, hey, but I just am who I am. I've been that way since I was born, and this is really the most authentic thing I think I've ever been a part of this record,
Yeah.
and it's like you said, it's authentic country, and that's what I try to bring. Whether y'all think it's modern or traditional, that's all up to you all, but it's just who I am.
I love that. Yeah, you can only be who you are. That's great. Just stay rooted in your authentic voice. There's this wave of like, which I really love, of younger artists, yourself included, who are really committed to kind of bringing back that classic authentic country. Because you're 21, 22, 23,
22, yeah, yes, ma'am.
22. Wow. Well, growing up, at what point were you introduced to country music? Was it something that you always grew up with? Were you kind of getting into it a little bit younger or?
It's something that was always around. My grandpa,
Yeah.
he didn't play music, but he was just a super fan. I mean, he had all these old books and all these LP records, but he couldn't play music. He had an old guitar, an old
Okay.
harmony guitar, but he never really played it. For me, he said, "No," I said, "I can't play." He said, "I'm not a player or musician," but he knew good music because he always was playing Merle Haggard, George Jones,
Yeah.
Ernest Tubb was Ray Price, the 50s country, the 60s country. That was his favorite. That's whenever he grew up listening to Opry, Buck Owens. So that's what I grew up listening to with him. And my dad, on the other hand, he was really a George Strait, Robert Earl Keen, Tracy Byrd, Clay Walker, those kind of guys is what he
I
listened
love
to.
that. Yeah.
So riding around with both them guys, I got a really good education in country music, especially
You
from my
certainly
grandpa.
do. You got quite a few influences. I know you'd mentioned before we started other side again. Geez. The Merle record behind me you said is one of your favorites.
That's one of the best. Yeah, that live. It's a live. I can't remember where it's live at.
Looks like the fight inside of me.
Right inside of me. It's live. I think is it Pennsylvania? Somewhere in Pennsylvania or something like that.
It is, yeah, Philadelphia. You're right.
I thought so. I had that was one of that's the first Haggard record I ever bought myself, and
I
that's the
love it.
reason that one sticks out to me because I had it hanging on my wall as a kid. I had records on the wall, and that was one of them. So I said, "Wow, me and Nikki gonna get along just fine today."
There we go. I know. You gotta have a good record wall, right? This
You do.
took a while. I had to put the reclaimed wood. It's just like regular walls in this room, but I had to put the reclaimed wood on the back, do a little bit. This one's like kind of blue. There's some white ones, do a little bit of like staining and then put in shelves up there and the sign. So it took a while, but I think it was worth it.
I think it was too, especially if you're putting Haggard and Charlie Crockett on display. It was well worth
Yeah.
the thing.
Up here, there's Eric Church, Cody Jinks, and then Dolly Parton used to be over here, but I took her with me to CRS this year and I haven't put it back. So it changes out every now and then. So you just caught it on a good day.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, how do you go about kind of, staying true to that style while also carving out a unique sound for yourself? How do you kind of approach writing your own music? Obviously rooted in yourself and authenticity, but how do you approach your writing?
My manager tells me, he says, Alex, it don't matter if you singing a Beatles song, it's going to sound like me singing a Beatles song. And so
Yeah, I love that.
I haven't really worried too much about, how I sound because it's going to be me at the end of the day. And I feel
Yeah.
like this record showcases that really well, especially on as far as Memory Lets Her Go and Just a Mom. Like they show two different sides of my voice, but they still show me at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Absolutely. Well, and you've already said it, you're not just singing about country you're doing it. You grew up in
Yeah.
a pretty were you kinda rural in Kentucky
Oh
or
yeah.
on a
I
farm? And
Lancaster,
yeah.
Kentucky. You ever been to Lancaster, Kentucky?
I can't say that I have. Are we on the east or west side?
Exactly. See, I'm so country you don't even know where I'm at.
Or in the middle somewhere?
I'm close to Lexington, so south of
Okay, well,
Lexington.
yeah, I've been there.
It's we're almost to the eastern side of the state, and we're almost to the flatter side of the state. So we're right. We got the best of both worlds.
I love that.
The
Well,
back
you
of
were
country.
yeah, well, you were dedicated it seems like you're very dedicated to, like, the FFA and stuff like that. What is being involved with that organization or growing up on a farm kinda taught you? What's some lessons that has taught you?
Well, the main thing it taught me is public speaking for one of the FFA. I
There
mean,
you go. Yeah.
the rural background, though, on the farm, there's no 2 days that are the same. One
Sure.
day you got something wrong with your fence, and one day you got something wrong with your tractor. In the music business, it's the same way. There's always something going wrong, and there's always
Yeah.
something that needs fixing or needs attention or you got to do, and no 2 days are the same. So the rural life and the farm life's different. The only difference is I don't get up till 10 o'clock, because where I used to get up 6. So I do like that.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can remember the last time I slept into 10, so but
I
you're
just,
probably out with
musicians,
longer
man, we
nights.
get up at the crack of noon. So, so
We get up at everyone's lunchtime. Well, you guys are out, burning the midnight oil, playing and keeping people entertained till
that's
all
right.
hours of the morning, so we can't blame you.
No, no. But I still get up pretty early. I just saying that though.
Yeah, good for you. You know what? You gotta prioritize rest too,
Oh
because
yeah.
obviously with how busy you are, that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest is the most valuable thing you have. That's for sure.
There you go. Keep a vocal rest. Did you start off and well, kinda talk to me about how you evolved into music as a career choice. Were you kinda, playing for church, or how did you kinda get to where you are?
Sure. So, I help my granddaddy on the farm, and on the weekends or
Mm.
whenever he's done with work or whatever, I would always go. There's little honky tonks in Kentucky. There was two that come to mind, three or four. There was one called Miller. So being Alex Miller, I definitely want to go
There
there.
you go.
There was another one called the White Barn. It was in Waynesburg, Kentucky, and it was literally a shotgun barn that had a dance floor in it. And so we'd go to that.
Love
Another
it.
one called the Silver Eagle. I think it's still open in Rockcastle County. But we used to go to surrounding counties where they had music, and on Sundays I would go sing in churches. So that's kind of how I got started. And my grandpa, he would take me all over. Like I said, he couldn't sing, but he loved music, and
Yeah.
he supported that with me. And so we got to go to all the old honky tonks and all the old places, and they would let us in somehow or another. Yeah, he'd
Yeah.
talk them enough to get me in there.
Right, because 'cause you're so young or, like, trying to get an underage person to come play in a
I'd have been
bar, I'm
like
sure
10 or
there's
11. So,
10 or
I
11.
was I was like a itty bitty kid. Yeah, I started
Oh my
really singing
gosh.
and playing out when I was 7. And
Yeah.
so 10, 11 years old, granddaddy was taking me around all these places, and I'm sure my parents loved that, but we had
I'm
great
sure I'm
that was
sure
just
they
me and
did.
G's thing to do, so that's what we did.
Yeah. Were you playing guitar at 7 as well, or
I I was playing at a guitar, yes, ma'am.
playing at a guitar? Okay, we were
I was
learning
taking
then.
I'd taken lessons, I started lessons when I was 6, and I took them
Mhm.
till I was 8, and then the shop closed. So, I just, started watching everybody else play and watched how they played, and I'd sit on the side of the stage and play along with them, and eventually I figured out how things went together.
There you go. Yeah, learn by
I had no
watching.
formal, like, music training. It's all ears. I hear everything. So that's
That's
how I
so
learned.
impressive. Yeah, that's so impressive. Learn by play by ear, I guess is
Trial
what
by
they call
fire
that?
really is how
Trial by
trial by
fire,
fire.
yeah.
Yeah, play by ear, yes.
Yeah, you either do it or you don't. You'll pick
Yeah,
up on it eventually.
yeah.
Well, I mean, now you're out there playing pretty large venues. Do you love I'm always curious, like, do people who start out playing in, like, smaller, more intimate honky tonks and bars and stuff, do you like the large venue, or do you like, the intimate crowd of a smaller honky tonk?
I like them for both things. I
Both
think
reasons.
the bigger show lets me maybe show my bigger personality, I should say, uh,
Yeah,
and the smaller rooms let me be a little more intimate and
sure.
direct with my audience, shall I say? But No, I like them both for different reasons.
Two different reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Good
sometimes
point.
I'm really looking forward to them big shows,
Yeah.
just, you know, play your guts out and just have the best time. And then the intimate rooms, I have to put a little more thought into them and just, think about my songs and the stories I'm going to tell and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. I went to the Ryman last night for a show, and it might have been my dozenth time go it maybe even more. I don't know, maybe 20th time going there, but it's always so fun to like try to feel what the artist is feeling up there on that stage, like playing out to an audience of that size or even larger, but just like how, I don't know, how special that feeling would
Oh,
be. Yeah.
the Ryman's one of those places. If I ever get to do it by myself, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's
Oh.
uh, it's a room like no other. I played it one time. Rhonda Vincent invited me to come play it right after American Idol, and I went.
Oh yeah.
And it was a bluegrass night, so I did a couple bluegrass songs with her, and one I'd wrote, and that was a really special night and special time for me. So yeah, I'll tell you what them artists are feeling up there. They're scared to death. That's what they are.
Scared.
Oh yeah, we're scared to death. That's one of the coolest stages in country music.
Sure. Yeah, it really is a mother church. Well, I have no doubt that if that's a goal of yours, it's gonna happen.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you. I'm sure gonna try.
Yeah, just manifest that. Put that out into
Yeah,
the world,
Ryman
Get that
Auditorium.
energy.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
like
Fingers
that.
crossed.
Yeah,
Well, let's get into American Idol then. You were on season 19?
that's right. Yes, ma'am.
19. When, or I guess how rather, did you decide that you wanted to audition, try out, pursue that?
It was an easy decision because my mom
Yeah.
did it for me. She signed me up when I was 17 years old. I didn't know exactly, where life was going to lead me or
Yeah.
I'm a 17-year-old kid. So, but I knew I wanted to do music and I made that very clear to my mom that, college might not be an option. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do music. And that I guess, scared her to death and probably scared me to death at the time. But she said, "Well, I'm just going to sign you up for American Idol and we'll see how this goes. If it's meant to be, then we'll do music. If you get on the show and go far in it, then that's meant to be. And if not, then you're going to school." So I practiced really hard for my audition.
There you go. Oh man, yeah. Sometimes moms know best. Way to go, mom.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
That's wonderful. That's so cool. It sounds like a life-changing experience. I know it would scare me to death, I'm sure, but that's, just how was that experience for you?
Oh, being out there. So the great part
Yeah.
about it was my mom got to come with me, so she got
Oh,
to
good.
experience all that stuff with me. It was like my senior trip. But American
Yeah.
Idol flew me out there, and I auditioned on a Zoom call, much like this. What we're on this call like this. I played
Nice.
just like we're sitting here,
Yeah.
and they said they liked me and wanted me to come out to San Diego, and they flew me out there, me and my mom, and got to meet so many nice folks on the show, the contestants, and it changed my whole way of thinking. I thought that maybe, just maybe, they might like me on the show, and I'd, get some time on TV just as an audition. That was my goal, was just to get on TV and see what we can make happen. Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that audition that you never see them, and they even go on farther into Hollywood Week, and you never see them. So there's just something about me they liked, I guess.
You're a likable person.
I guess
Absolutely.
so.
Got that
I guess
contagious
so.
personality.
Ah, yeah, I guess so. I don't know what else to say.
Well, what's like a behind the scenes reality of being on Idol or a show like that that people don't necessarily see on camera or they might not know about?
Well, I was on there during COVID, so it was all messed up. The world was.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we had to do COVID shots. That's kind of boring stuff. The some of the funny things I remember backstage. Ryan Seacrest, we were doing this interview. Now this never made TV. He said, "When did you know you were a country boy?" And I'm like, well, I don't know. I said, "I guess when I discovered my love of cornbread is when I figured out that I was a country boy." I thought that was a good answer. What was funny is he said, "What kind of cornbread?" And he said, "Sweet." I said, "No." I said, "The Jiffy kind." Like Jiffy Mix. So that's what my grandmother made.
Cornbread.
It
Yeah.
was Jiffy cornbread. So I didn't know there was even a sweet cornbread out there at that time. So that's all I knew was Jiffy. So that's one of the funny things that happened to me backstage or behind the scenes. But no,
That's great.
it was all a really surreal experience. It was truly incredible.
Yeah. So that's really funny. Is that your favorite food or something you really enjoy
Cornbread,
making
I
to
can
this day?
actually
Yeah.
to this day I can whip you up some excuse my language, but some damn good cornbread.
Damn
I'm
good cornbread. Yeah.
I figured out how to do that. My grandmother taught me good.
Listen, you already made it on American Idol. Now we're getting ready to put country artists on a cooking show. I bet
Well,
that would
I could
absolutely crush.
I would kill anybody at the cooking on the cornbread side of things. Yeah, I can make a good pot of chili. I can eat off it for about 3 days. I figured that
I just
out.
had chili for breakfast. Look at
Mhm.
us. And no
Yep.
cornbread,
The
though.
crock pot's a powerful tool, I'm a telling you.
I tell you what, you put food in there, it'll last you for 3, 4 days.
That's right. Oh yeah.
What's better? Yeah. I think we have us an idea here. We're going to do cooking with Alex Miller, little
Crock
game
pot cook
show. We're
off.
going to have cornbread. Yeah, cornbread week.
I now listen, I do things a little different. Sometimes I'll cut up little peppers and throw in my cornbread too. That's
Oh,
and then I don't put no onion in there. I don't like onion. That gives me bad. That's not good for me. But
yeah.
I'll take bacon bits and put in there too sometimes. That's really good. So anyways, I'm not that I'm a great cook. You need to call Emily Ann for that. But I
Is
just
she? Yeah. She
yeah,
probably
when I
is.
when I first
Yeah.
moved down there, now she's married. I don't think there's anything going on there, but she was a good friend when I first moved down there and still is. She gave me some peppers and that's what I made with them was that cornbread. So anyway,
I love that. That's phenomenal. I don't eat a lot of cornbread, but I love that apparently it's as versatile as regular bread. You can just
it is
make a whole bunch of different flavors with that stuff.
pies, cakes. This is going to be a great spot for Jiffy cornbread.
Your next sponsor. We'll just
My
send this
next
out to
sponsor.
them.
Sounds
Yeah.
great. Sounds
I don't
great.
know if they could ask for any better than this authentic story of your love for Jiffy corn.
I know. Yeah.
That would be the cornbread king. Anyway, I digress. This feels like, yeah, you having a lot of fun with that. Um, oh, speaking of fun, how did you decide to do Too Much Fun for
Oh,
this album?
man, that was a segue right there.
Yeah, how about that?
Too much fun. That's a song I've been doing in my show. Heck, I've been doing that one for about 3 years. It's been my opening song, and I thought as good as we did it live, wonder what it would sound like with a Nashville band playing it, and some of the guys that had played on Daryl's record. So that's what we did, and it what was great about it is we put it out on Daryl's. I think it was his birthday, if I'm not mistaken. We put it out on Daryl's birthday, and
Oh, okay.
it was really neat, and it was nice to shine a little light on Daryl's career. I think he's one of the greatest country singers, not only of the '90s but of all time.
All
And
time.
he's one of those all time voices to me. And
Mhm.
some that a lot of people said I sound like him too on some things I do. So
Yeah.
I thought it was a good tribute to one of my heroes. That's why I did the song.
100%. It was a great tribute. I love that song. It's followed me, I think, on every device that I've had since I started having musical devices. That one song, I remember that. It's just like one of those staples of 90s country for me that I grew up on. So that's great that you did that one.
Well, thank you. And like I said, I just wanted to shine a little light on Daryl because
Yeah.
his music's great, and like I said, we did that song in our show, and I felt like if people come to my show, they ought to be able to buy some of the songs that we have, or be able to listen to remember some of the memories from that night. So that's a
Sure.
good way to do that too.
Yeah, absolute wonderful tribute to him. Well, let's go back to June of 24 because you had a fun moment in your career in that month. Tell me the story about how you were invited to make your debut on the Opry stage.
Well, it goes even back farther than that.
Oh
Truthfully, it
boy.
goes back
Okay.
to American Idol, and it goes back to my childhood. So, Eddie Montgomery is from the same county that I'm from. He's from close to it. He's from Boyle County, Kentucky, and I'm from Garrett County, Kentucky, which is right
Yeah.
next to each other. And my dad worked for this guy, and we went to this shrimp broil. He was from Louisiana, and we went over there, and Eddie was there, and I got to meet him. And I had my little guitar, and I sang "My Bucket's Got a Hole in It, Can't Buy No Beer." When I was a little kid, that was the first song I ever learned to play. It's old Hank Williams Senior tune. So I played that for Eddie. He told me the story about Hank and that he used to play on the Opry, and they didn't want him to say beer on the Opry, so they made Hank Williams Sr. change beer to milk in that song. Well, anyways, I remember that story, and I remembered Eddie and his kindness as a kid. And
Yeah.
whenever I was on American Idol, Luke Bryan made me a promise he was going to get me on the Grand Ole Opry. Well, that never happened. And he never got me on the Opry. I don't know what happened. He probably just got busy and forgot, and that's okay. Still hadn't made my Opry debut, and that was 3 years after I was on American Idol. And Eddie heard about that, and he asked me to come play his golf tournament there in Kentucky, and I went and played that and got to hang out with him some. And he was just being really nice and he asked me, he said, "What are you doing in June?" And I said, I don't know, probably be playing some shows when we come open for you. He said, yeah, that'd be good. And then I never heard nothing from him. So I was like, well, I guess that ain't gonna work out. Dates ain't gonna work out. But all of a sudden, my mom said, hey, you need to come over to the house and we're gonna do some filming of some videos today. And this was when I was still living at home. And I
Yeah.
said, all right. I said, sounds good. So I went over to the house and she said, you need to dress up really nice. She's like, Nick, you need to dress really nice. I said, okay. So, I mean, I put on my Sunday best or
What
whatever.
videos are we filming? Yeah.
I mean, what are you talking about, Mom?
Yeah.
So I put on these clothes and I was dressed to the nines, and in walks Eddie Montgomery in my house. He said, hey, brother, how are you? And I said, I'm good, Eddie. How the hell are you? So I shook his hand and we got to talking and he said, how would you like to come play the Opry June the 27th? And I said, sounds great. Said, I'll be there. So Eddie Montgomery is one that got me on the Opry. And there's a video of it out there. I think
Yeah.
it's on Instagram. Y'all can go check that out. But I think
Okay.
but he came in the house and sure enough said, well, would you want to come play the Opry? And I said, yeah. So
Uh, yes, of course I do.
yeah. So it's one of the coolest things ever happened to me. And I'm just so thankful for Eddie and the Opry for letting me be on their stage.
Yeah, what a great story. He shows up at your house. Look, mom
Yeah.
strikes again. She
Mom
pulls
strikes
you.
again. Oh, and my dad and my mom, they hit it. I didn't have any idea. I had the least idea ever. I
Yeah,
had no idea what was going on. So it
they
was
both knew.
the
Yeah,
look
they
on
were
my
both plotting
face.
against you.
The look on my face when he walked in is, I mean, I didn't know what to say.
What a phenomenal story. I know, that's so great. When do you remember the first time that you went to the Opry? Were you younger? Did you go with
Oh
family
yeah.
or yeah,
Mom strikes again. My
mom
mom
again?
took me and my brother whenever I was 6 or 7 years old, and there's a picture of us whenever I was that age. But yeah, she took us back whenever I was a little kid. And of course, I'd been watching opera videos since I was 3 or 4 years old. My granddad had VHS tapes. And he had those old VCRs. He'd throw them in there whenever I came home from school. That's what kept me entertained, was watching little Jimmy Dickens and Ernest Tubb, Marty Robbins sing on those old opera VHS tapes. So,
Love that.
oh,
Yeah.
it was a full circle thing for me all the way around.
Yeah, speaking of circle, when you got up there, did just like
Oh,
being on that stage, just all those memories came flooding back. Like that's probably a very overwhelming experience.
it was. I had
Yeah.
so many people there. What was neat about that night, and I didn't, unless you were there, you didn't know this. So this is a little insider thing. So the guy that first let me sing, his name was Tommy Hurst. He owned a barn jamboree in Bergen, Kentucky. This is the first kind of paying job playing I ever had. Well, he was 90 years old, and I got my bass player and my piano player to pick him up and drive him down there so he could see me play at the Opry. So whenever in between songs on that break, I recognized him out there in the crowd and made everybody clap for him because he did not have to let me play or sing, and I was just a
Yeah.
little kid. But I feel like you have to give back to the people that give to you in the first place, and he's the one that kind of really got it started for me. And I'm just very thankful for him and everybody that's helped me along the way.
Yeah, yes, you do. What a great sentiment. Yeah, he gave you your first formal opportunity and then
Yeah.
again full circle we're back and you're recognizing him up there on that stage. That's
Yeah.
so wonderful. Yeah, that's so great. Oh man, what a story. Eddie Montgomery. I know, I think I remember that they lived out and I just talked to Walker. Gosh, there's so many
There's a lot
musicians
of
in that
Montgomery,
family that
him and Dylan,
yeah.
and they're all super talented too,
Yeah.
which is great. But man, I love Eddie. He. In fact, the other day he texted me and said, "Hey brother, how you holding up out there?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
just the sweetest. He's just one of the nicest guys. He really is.
What a great guy. Good mentor. I know there must be something in the water out there in Kentucky for you guys that's
It's the
producing all this
limestone.
talent.
We're like the racehorses up there. It's the limestone water.
There was speaking of limestone, and we don't even have to keep this in the interview, but I was in Leaper's Fork yesterday with my dad because he came to visit, and there's this like limestone sculpture that weighs like 7,000 pounds of a couch, of a sofa, just like sitting out next to one of the museums. And if you aren't paying attention, or if you're just kind of maybe a little intoxicated, you're not, or maybe it's like dark, you honestly couldn't tell that this thing was a sculpture. So
Oh,
I'm out
really?
here thinking like, what happens if somebody just comes along and just plops down on this couch and it's just a slab of limestone?
I guess it depends on how drunk you are, what it would do. you know, uh,
Yeah.
you might just go to sleep.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, fusing a couple of vertebrae along the way, I'm sure you hitting that thing. So anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, but yeah, it must be the
Oh,
limestone in the water out there that you making you guys so talented.
and maybe so. I don't know. Just something about that bluegrass, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I saw somewhere that you'd said either one of your favorite songs or a song that you'd wish you'd written was "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry" by Hank Sr.
Hmm.
What is it about him or that song that you admire so much or that you love so much?
God, it's just so emotional.
Yeah.
Uh, that recording of him singing it is so emotional. It's such an emotional song, and it's popped up several times throughout my career. In fact, I did it at the Hall of Fame. That somebody asked me what was my favorite song, and I just did a songwriter session at the Country Music Hall of Fame, and they asked me what was my favorite song, and I said I'm so lonesome I could cry, and I said here I'll just let me sing a little bit for you, and I did it kind of a cappella first, just singing with my guitar and me. And then everybody joined along singing. It was really a moment, especially at the Hall of Fame too. You know, where all his stuff
Yeah.
is, his guitar, and
Oh, that's great. Well, you're right. I mean, Hank Sr. in that song specifically, like, there's such an underlying, I mean, it's in the title, but there is such an underlying lonesome. Like, you can just feel the pain, like you said, the emotion. You can feel that so much in that song, his version. It's just, it's like, whoa. Yeah.
yeah, you
So
can feel the heartbreak. You can hear
you
it. You
can.
know, you can hear the
Yeah.
heartbreak. But it's just one of my favorite songs, and I've been singing it for a long time. I've always been a huge Hank fan, and I hope my music has that emotion in it in some way too. And that's why I like it. I think that it gives me something to point towards whenever it comes to an emotional song.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was gonna ask you that question kind of near the end, but let's go there then, since you sort of segued to it. What, say, like 5, 10 years from now, what's something that you hope people see you as an artist, take away from your career? What's the legacy that you're kind of working towards here?
First, I want to be remembered as a good person first. That's really what I want to be remembered as
That's
and doing some
nice.
good
Yeah.
things. I think as far as a legacy or what I want to leave behind, I just want people to know that everybody from Kentucky ain't as stupid or as a hillbilly as some people think we are. And because
Yeah.
I might sound like a hillbilly, but there's a lot going on up here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. You can't always judge people by their accent. I'm from the Louisville area, the
Oh,
Indiana
you are?
side.
Well, you know what I'm saying then, because you say over from Kentucky, like, oh yeah, it's just dumb of a dumb hillbilly. But
Yeah, well, absolutely. I'm from the Indiana side, but nobody knows where New Albany is. So like I say Southern Indiana, but I'm like it's basically Louisville. It's literally right across the river. But I grew up in the Walmart parking lot and just like playing in cornfields and playing in mud
yeah,
and like my fun was out with bonfires. People I used to talk very similar to I had a deeper country accent when I was younger. I was just having this conversation with Britt Taylor the other day. I was like, "I sounded just like you when I was a kid," and people always thought that about me, but it's like the best people come out of there, I think, salt of the earth, just like wonderful people.
what I think the country people have that maybe puts them above is their work ethic. I was raised, to
Yeah.
work hard at everything you do because your name's going to be on it, and I'm going to say, well, Alex did that, and how well the job was it done, and I think hopefully at this point in my career, they could say everything he's done was himself.
Yeah.
And I apply that to my music a lot.
Very true. Yep, very hard worker. We can tell. Everyone can tell. Work
Well,
ethic,
thank
you
you.
got it, for sure. Well, is there anyone in particular maybe out there that you'd love to you're talking about collabs and duets in this upcoming album. Anyone that you'd like to work with that you haven't had the chance to yet?
Well, Willie Nelson, I've got a song that'd be great for him.
Oh,
Uh,
there you go.
it's I can't really give the title away because somebody'd still listen in a heartbeat, but I have a song that I think me and Willie would really kill. I'd love to do something with Jake Worthington or Braxton Keith as well. Those are two guys that I look up to right now in country music. I see, and as far as the female side, I'd love to do one with Belle France. I know her pretty well and would love to maybe work something there. But
Yeah.
I think that'd be a really good combination and something that would definitely strike some country gold.
What a phenomenal, yeah, collab that would be great. Absolutely. You guys
Yeah.
kinda have similar is she from Kentucky
She's from
too?
Mississippi. Mhm.
Mississippi, okay, yeah, and you
That's
guys have
that's
very similar styles.
about as country as Kentucky, or probably a little more, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I love that, that would be awesome. We'll put that out into the world too. Everybody
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
mentioned, Willie, Jake, Braxton, all of them, Belle, it'll
Sure.
happen. Well, here's a really important question for you. Did you ever decide who is actually more country between yourself and Emily Ann?
All right, I'm just gonna be honest. I think
Okay.
I think Emily definitely is more country, but I will say this: I've never seen her drive a tractor. Only country people really know how to do that. So
Yeah,
I think for a female, she's about as country as you can get, and I think me as a male is about as country as you can get.
there you go.
Not redneck country. There's a
Yeah,
big difference.
country,
Yeah, but
100%.
I think that's an accurate statement. I think we're about as country as each other.
There you go. Yep. You're pretty well matched. That was such a cute song. I love it so much. You guys fit so well on that duet, which is the title track, right, of
Mhm.
the upcoming
Yes, ma'am,
album,
it is.
More Country Than You. I love it. Was there kind of like an underlying theme of that song, like to people who say they're country but think that literally just means putting on a hat and some boots? And that's it.
Yes, and a
Yeah.
lot of my favorite part of it is like the Tennessee Kentucky rivalry. So the Rocky Top line and the Blue Moon shines on old Kentucky home. There's a huge basketball rivalry, football rivalry, whatever you want to call it, rivalry between those two states. And so
UT and UK.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm not a UT fan. I'm not afraid to admit it. I bleed blue and will to the day I die.
There
But
you go.
and she's the very opposite. You know, she's UT all the way, uh, Rocky Top all the way. Just, I mean, I love those folks over there, but I can't stand their program. But anyway, good people, but
Yeah.
just not Kentucky people. So it's just different. But
You know what? My whole family's UK fan, so I'm right there. I can't say I am, but we'll put
who are
that. My
you for?
family is.
Uh-oh, you're a Louisville fan, ain't you?
I am. Oh my gosh. Yeah. When it comes to college sports,
Well, Nikki, it's
I
been fun talking to you this podcast.
nice to meet you. This was
I'm just,
great.
I'm
We'll
just
we'll
kidding.
see you never.
No, no. But no, I think we capitalized on that rivalry good too. And so
Yeah,
that I think that just added that much more to the song. But we're definitely equally matched, I feel like. And I think audiences would agree with that as well.
absolutely. I'd have to agree. Anyway, to the other subject, agree to disagree. We can be cordial
That's right.
friends.
We can't be cordial when it comes to Duke. No, there ain't no there's no redemption there.
I'm not a Duke fan.
Good.
There we go. Yeah. Maybe when
Sorry,
I was
Duke
like young,
fans.
young, young. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry guys. I don't know if anybody who's out there, maybe some people watch. If you are, you
Duke
can
fans don't
skip
like
through this
country
part.
music. We
Yeah,
just leave.
you're probably right. Well, I found some quick facts. Actually, Martha sent over a few that I looked through. I, they're quite humorous. I love these so much. Well, one is something that people talk about a lot for you. So you're 6'6". You're
Mhm.
quite tall.
Yes.
I remember taking a picture with you last year. I was like, wow, yeah, 6'6"
Yeah.
is actually quite tall. Um, have you ever been in a venue where it's been tough to like low ceilings? Like,
Yes, I have,
yes.
and I can't remember where I played, but I've played some places, and it's the hair was touching the ceiling. I was cleaning up the cobwebs for them.
Don't start jumping.
No,
Bad
no, that
news.
it was
Yeah.
not a high energy show. It was more just stand there and play.
Yeah. You have to sit on stools for some of
I
those.
think
And I was
losing
picturing,
downtown would be I'd be having a rough time in there.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Anything with an elevated stage
Yeah,
might be tough.
it's tough.
I was thinking about Broken Spoke. And have you played Broken Spoke in Austin, Texas?
No, but I know what that is, and I've been there. Yes,
Okay. Yeah. I was kind of thinking that one. I remember the ceilings there being
pretty low.
pretty low.
They
Yeah.
need to have me in there. I can clean all the cobwebs, like I said.
There you go. They have to
I'll
prop you
see.
up on a stool and then you can just stool with the guitar. Yeah, and not be standing up. But yeah, you can get all the stuff that anyone else can't reach up there. They'll
Yeah, boys, here you go. Yeah, just
eh,
clean it all out
like
for me.
do one of these with
Yeah, like,
We also talked before we formally got started that you do have your guitar with you and it's like you just feel comfortable kind of sitting there with it, your
yeah,
emotional support instrument.
this is a nice one. This is a 44 D18,
Oh, Martin.
1944. This is just
Hey,
it's one
Martin.
of the best sounding guitars there is. I'd play it through the speakers, but I know it would sound crummy. But
Yeah,
I
that's
would play
okay.
y'all the song. But see, then they got no reason to go listen to my songs anyway. So
I was getting ready to say you might as well just go see you live and
that's right.
get that footage and the energy of the show. There you
That's
go.
right.
Well, I can stitch that into the interview too. Just find some good footage of you. But I think I read that's like a vice of yours is buying a lot of instruments.
I have quite a few. Now this one is very
Quite a
special.
few.
This is a guy who actually willed this one to me, and this is
Yeah.
probably my favorite guitar that I've ever played. But it's a 1944 D18. I have quite a few. I really don't even want to admit how many I have, and I include steel guitars and fiddles and banjos and mandolins into all that too. So It's an excessive amount. It's at least 30 or more.
Oh, wow. Okay. That
It's
is quite
bad. And
excessive.
now some
Yeah.
of them, now a lot of them are like I found them and they were cheap and I bought them and like modded them and all kinds of stuff. But
Yeah.
I have way more than any person ever needs or should ever need. So, and
My
they're like
goodness.
at two places too. So I have some at my mom's,
Yeah.
two or three at her house. I got like two or three at my dad's, and I got a load of them down here too.
You never have too many of the things that you like, that you enjoy.
There's exceptions, but yes,
So, like, if it came to, groceries one week or a guitar that you really wanted to buy,
I would be
like,
eating ramen noodles.
you
Yeah,
you'd be
and soup
eating
beans.
ramen and cornbread.
Ramen, cornbread, and soup beans. Yep. Quite the
Oh
meal.
my gosh. Wow, yeah, that is quite the meal. I don't blame you. I feel that way with, like, hats and boots and, I don't need any more of those. I don't wear them anyway, but they just kinda look nice on the wall, so
That's right.
anyhow. Well, Alex, is there anything else that you'd like to share with people? What do you got coming up in terms of shows? Are you gonna go on tour to promote the upcoming record?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're making a lot of stops this year. Georgia, we're playing in Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, Kentucky, of course. You name it. I feel like we're going there. Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, hitting all the states that we usually go play, and excited to see the folks. And hopefully they'll agree that I might be a little more country than man. I don't know about that or not, but
I think they will agree on that. Absolutely.
probably so.
That's phenomenal. I love it. It's been a fantastic conversation. I appreciate your time. Congrats on all of your success. Forward to more country to April 10th. And folks, make sure you follow along with Alex Miller to get your music where or listen to his music wherever you get your music, and make sure you go see him out on tour this year.
Thank you so much. Yes, please do.
Thank you. All right, we'll see y'all next time. Appreciate it, Alex.